Don't embellish anything. So we want to find the quadratic regression for these points. I already went ahead, I turned on my calculator, I went to stat, I went edit, I entered everything, and I double checked already. So that's done. Then I'm going to y equals, and remember, you're not always going to have this on. You only have this on if you're planning on doing a regression. It's on, so I go zoom 9, zoom stat. It does resemble a parabola, so we're doing good. Next year, it may not be so. So stat, calculate, quadratic regression, second 1, comma, second 2, comma, alpha trace, y1. Oop, I actually have to hit enter or else it doesn't do anything. So I write down the equation. Okay, so you can round to 2 decimals minimum. So what I'm going to do here to show my work is I'm going to go L1, L2, and here where I'm supposed to state my equation, I'm just going to go stat, calculate, quadratic regression. So in grade 12, this might be cubic regression, linear regression. You might have different kinds of regressions. Okay, so this is y is equal to, and I erased my, so when this happens to you, if you press something and it clears everything, clear it and then just go back to where you ran it and then hit enter again and it will bring it back. Okay, so negative 0.220 x squared minus 4.74 x minus 10.17. And I check one more time, there's no e to the negative, 5, 6, 7, 10, anything like that. So that is the equation right there. You get a mark for it. And just letting you know, this, if you get it wrong at all, you lose a full mark usually. So, yeah. You didn't round? Like you used all decimals?
No, I used 4 decimals.
That's better, actually.
Okay, so I get the mark?
Yeah. 2 is minimum. More than 2 is better. But you just have to round correctly. Whatever you choose to round to past 2 has to be rounded correctly. The only exception is money. Money, dollars, has to be rounded to 2, no exceptions. Okay? All right, but if you get this wrong, -1, you do get a chance at scoring all of the other ones because I will have to enter your equation into my calculator and then follow through your work. Okay, so you made a mistake. That's just how it goes. It's -1. And so the coordinates of the vertex now. So this is where it gets interesting, right? Because you have to actually find the vertex. In this case, it's on my screen. This probably threw you off a little bit as well, that the points aren't exactly on the line. And that is expected when you enter a bunch of values because you're trying to find the best fit. For most of our word problems, it's going to be a precise location. It's going to actually go through exactly. But if this happens, if it's a little bit off, you're fine. So let's find the vertex, second trace max. I already know the answer. What is it? Negative 11.86. But I still walk you through it. So for the vertex, it'll be second trace max. And it is negative 11.86, 17.93. So you get a mark for that. And today, I don't know what went wrong with your equation. So you just give yourselves the mark. If you go second trace max, and you get something that is close to this, I'm assuming you're going to be close to this, you get the mark for follow through. Every time you lose half a mark every time you forget your key stroke. So I would just go like this, K, next to it. So then at the end, I subtract half a mark every time I see it. I don't go more than one full deduction per page, because then it kind of gets ridiculous. Now it's like you don't know anything. Whereas you do know your stuff, it's just you forgot the keys, okay? But I would mark that down every time. The equation of the maximum, there is an equation of the maximum. It's this, 17.93. It's y equals 17.93, so it's the y value. There is no, not applicable, right? Not applicable for the equation of the minimum. There's no such thing, because this points down. And so this is the max, right? This is the equation of the max right there. Is that line, okay? state one x-intercept and state the other x-intercept. So you just have to show the work for one of them. It's 0, y equals to 0, second trace intersect. Okay? So, can I see my x-intercepts as is? Yeah, they're there. So I don't need to change anything so far. I'm just going to go y2 is equal to 0. There it is, second trace 5. Let's find this one to the left. Negative 21, 34. So one of them is negative 21, 34, 0. It doesn't matter where you put which one, I don't care. Now let's go find the other one, second trace 5. Did I show you the trick of jumping lines? You can, if you go up and down arrows, it cycles through your equation. So I'm going to go down arrow and just take the shortcut. Once you're a bit closer to the other one, you can just go ahead and hit enter 3 times. And that's negative 2.39. Negative 2.390 is the actual x-intercept. So 1 mark for each so far. Including 4, Mr. Dirksen? Yes, including 4, because you have to know that there is no minimum. State the y-intercept. You either look at your general form equation, or you use your calculator. But if you want to use your calculator, you need to make sure it shows up on your screen. So for example, if you go second trace 1, x is equal to 0, it's going to give you this, right? It's not seeing it on your screen. So if you press go to, it sometimes tells you what it doesn't like, and it says, hey, I don't like x equals to 0. So now you have to figure it out. Okay, let's go to window, and my x min is fine. My x max is not good, right? I'm basically in the negatives for both of them. So I'm going to go x max, change it to 10. And I start seeing it, so I'm going to try to go down a little bit on my y min. I'm going to go negative 10 there. And then you see it. Well, sort of. Let's change it even more. Y min is negative 20 perhaps. That's probably better. And there it is. So that's the y-intercept. Did you try zoom features? You can try zoom features. So let me try that route. So if you tried zoom fit, that still works. Let's see how well it works. You know what? It did the trick for me. I see the y-intercept. So if all else fails, try that. Okay, so you have options available. So x is equal to 0. There it is. That's the y-intercept. So if you used it that way, fine. The equation of the axis of symmetry, that is given to me by the x value of the vertex. So that should simply be x is equal to negative 11.86. So that is the vertical line that goes like that. Okay, so that is the equation that we're figuring out. So it is the vertex determines that, specifically the x value. State the domain. So on your study sheet, you should have domain and range for word problems and for non-word problem situations. This one you can close your eyes and just say it's either this one or it's negative infinity to positive infinity. That's your domain here. The range is a little different. The range is pointing down, so y has to be less than or equal to the 17.93, which is the y value of the vertex, or you go negative infinity up to 17.93 square brackets. So I always like to, some students need a visual, so you want to kind of, when it comes to the y, you want to say the highest y value is that, and the lowest is negative infinity, so you kind of have that in your, you can envision what's happening here. Calculate y of x is equal to negative 3, so you're going to go second, trace, value, x is equal to negative 3. Second trace value, negative 3. And it says that it's 2.24. 2.24 is that, is this, the answer is This is for that section right there. If y is equal to 6, calculate the x value. Oh, thank you. If y is equal to 6, what's the x value? So I let y2 equal to 6. I graph it. Let's see if it shows up. And you realize there are two x values in this case. Okay, two x values. So y2 is equal to 6. Second trace intersect. And I'll just give you the answers here. So one of them is negative 19.596, and the other is negative 4.136. If you just gave me the x values, I am okay with that. If you just gave me this and you just gave me that, that's fine. And so 12 gives you 2 marks because of that. Okay, so I will make question 12 worth 2 marks. And then the last one, 13 and 14, you need to enter that into your calculator. So go ahead and do that if you haven't done that already. Yeah. What's going to happen here? Okay, this is why I throw this one in. Okay, because you got to go straight to y equals, and what's the first thing you should do? Turn off plot 1. I don't know if you got an error message, but if you enter things manually, do not use plot 1. It's going to complain from time to time. And honestly, I can't even predict when it's going to happen. I haven't figured it out, but there's something that kind of, there's a conflict between the plot and what you're trying to graph manually. That's what it is, okay? So let's graph this. Oh, it's actually not bad. I'm going to try zoom 6, zoom standard. That often solves the problem for me. Zoom standard is not bad, but I need to increase the Y max. So I go to window, or did you try zoom fit? I'm lazy today, so zoom fit. It's okay. It'll do the trick. But this is a word problem because we're dealing with height. So technically you want to stick to quadrant 1. So I'm going to go back to zoom 6 for standard zoom. And I'm just going to focus a little bit more here. So I'm going to go window. Y max is what, 30? Let's try that. Perfect. That's a good one. So I'm going to go find the maximum height. So I'm going to go max somewhere to the left, somewhere to the right. And there it is, 2.35. Sorry, yeah, 2.35, 26.99. So you got to go second, trace, max, and this is 2.35, 26.99. So that's not good enough. You will have to say that it's 26.99 units. So if I don't give you the units, just put down units, because there's a word problem. There's going to be some sort of unit attached to it. Okay, 1 mark for that. How long is the projectile in the air for the previous question? Okay. Come on in. That is your x-intercept. So we're going to go y2 is equal to 0, second trace, intersect. Okay, so you graph that line, and it's going to happen here. It's going to start there and hit the line here. Second trace 5. Enter, enter, enter. And that's 4.69. So it takes 4.69 units. We don't know if it's seconds. Is it minutes? Is it hours? Like, you don't know where you're sending this projectile to, right? It could be across the continent. So just units if I don't tell you. If you put down seconds and if you put down meters or something that you feel more comfortable with, in this case, I will accept it as well. So what is it out of? Everything is worth 1 except for 12. So this is worth 15 marks. Total of 15. Put your name and last name on there.